Did you know that more than 30 million men in the United States suffer from erectile dysfunction, and that the use of medications like Tadalafil has skyrocketed in the last decade? But here's the shocking part. A huge percentage of those men are taking it without medical supervision. And this mistake can lead to something far more dangerous than just a bad night. It can cause sudden drops in blood pressure, irreversible vision loss, or even a fatal heart attack. Now let me ask you this. Have you, or someone you know, ever considered taking Tadalafil just to boost performance? What if I told you that there are hidden risks that even many doctors rarely mention? And I'll reveal one of the most alarming ones only in the final part of this video? Yes. Before you even think about swallowing that little pill, you need to understand what it really does inside your body, the hidden dangers, and the safe alternatives that could protect your health and your relationship. So stay with me, because in today's video, we'll uncover the truth about Tadalafil, from how it works, to the real benefits, to the risks that can turn one night of pleasure into a lifetime of regret. And if you care about your health or the health of your partner, this is information you simply cannot afford to miss. First, let's clear up the basics. Tadalafil, most people know it by its brand name Cialis, is a medication that belongs to a class of drugs called PDE5 inhibitors. Sounds complicated, but here's the simple version. When a man is aroused, the body releases a natural chemical called nitric oxide. This chemical relaxes the blood vessels in the penis, allowing more blood to flow in, which leads to an erection. Here's the problem. In men with erectile dysfunction, the enzyme PDE5 breaks down those important signals too quickly. Tadalafil steps in and blocks this enzyme, meaning the blood can flow more freely, making it much easier to achieve and maintain an erection. But here's where it gets even more interesting and dangerous. Unlike some other drugs in its category, Tadalafil has a long half-life, meaning it can stay in your body for up to 36 hours. That's why it's sometimes called the weekend pill. Now let me ask you this. If a drug stays active in your body for more than a day, what do you think happens if you take it again before it's completely gone? That's right. The effects can stack up, leading to unexpected and even dangerous consequences. And we'll get into those risks very soon. Before that, in the next part, I'll reveal who is using Tadalafil the most, and why many of them are making a huge mistake by taking it without knowing the full story. Here's a surprising fact. In the last few years, the use of Tadalafil has exploded, not just among men over 50, but also in younger men, sometimes in their 20s and 30s. Why? Many of them don't actually have erectile dysfunction. Instead, they're using Tadalafil as a so-called performance enhancer, often before dates, parties, or even as part of gym culture where it's wrongly believed to boost stamina. But here's the danger. When Tadalafil is taken without medical supervision, especially at higher doses, it can mask underlying health problems like heart disease, diabetes, or hypertension. Men think the pill is solving their issue, when in reality it's only covering up a much deeper problem. And it gets worse. Studies show that a large portion of Tadalafil is purchased online without prescriptions. That means pills could be counterfeit or contaminated. Dosages may be completely inaccurate. Users often combine it with alcohol or recreational drugs, multiplying the risks. Now here's a direct question for you. If even healthy young men are misusing Tadalafil, what do you think happens when someone with a hidden heart condition takes it without knowing? The answer is chilling, and we'll uncover that in detail when we talk about dangerous drug interactions later in this video. But before that, in the next section, let's look at the legitimate medical benefits of Tadalafil, because yes, it does have important uses when prescribed correctly. Now let's be fair. Tadalafil is not a villain. When prescribed properly, it can be life-changing. The most well-known use, of course, is for erectile dysfunction, ED. For many men, this drug restores not only their sexual health, but also their confidence and relationships. But here's something most people don't know. Tadalafil is also approved for other medical conditions, such as benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH. It helps relax the smooth muscles in the prostate and bladder, reducing symptoms like difficulty urinating or frequent nighttime trips to the bathroom. Pulmonary arterial hypertension, PAH. In this serious condition, blood pressure in the lungs is dangerously high. Tadalafil helps lower that pressure by relaxing blood vessels, making it easier for the heart to pump blood. Combination therapy. In some cases, doctors may use Tadalafil alongside other medications to improve circulation in patients with vascular problems. So yes, there are real medical benefits, but only when used under proper supervision. Here's the catch. Just because Tadalafil can improve blood flow, it doesn't mean it's safe for everyone. Imagine someone with untreated high blood pressure or heart disease taking it. Instead of helping, it could create a sudden and dangerous drop in blood pressure. That's why the benefits must always be weighed against the risks, a balance that only a qualified doctor can determine. And speaking of risks, in the next chapter, we'll dive into the part that most people ignore, the side effects, both common and potentially life-threatening. Every drug comes with side effects, and Tadalafil is no exception. The problem is that many people treat it like a harmless weekend pill without realizing how serious the consequences can be. Let's start with the most common side effects. Headaches caused by the widening of blood vessels, flushing, sudden redness or warmth in the face and chest, nasal congestion, that stuffy nose feeling, muscle and back pain, surprisingly common after 12-24 hours, indigestion, because the drug relaxes smooth muscles, including those in the digestive system. These may sound mild, but they can become persistent and uncomfortable, especially with regular use. Now, here are the serious and dangerous side effects you cannot ignore. Sudden drop in blood pressure, especially dangerous if combined with alcohol or nitrates, heart medications. This can cause dizziness, fainting, or even shock. Vision problems, including sudden vision loss due to reduced blood flow to the optic nerve, a condition called NAION. Hearing loss. In rare cases, people have reported sudden partial or total hearing loss. Priapism, a painful erection lasting more than 4 hours. If untreated, it can cause permanent damage. Cardiac events. Men with underlying heart disease face a higher risk of heart attack or stroke. Here's the scary truth. Many of these dangerous effects don't appear the first time you take Tadalafil. They build up slowly, giving users a false sense of safety until something goes terribly wrong. So let me ask you, would you still take a pill if you knew it could silently damage your vision, hearing, or even your heart over time? In the next chapter, we'll expose the drug interactions that can turn Tadalafil from risky to deadly, something every man and woman needs to know before even thinking about using it. If there's one part of this video that could literally save a life, it's this one. Because while Tadalafil has its own risks, the real danger comes when it mixes with other substances. Here are the most dangerous interactions. Nitrates, like nitroglycerin for chest pain. This is the deadliest combination. Both nitrates and Tadalafil widen blood vessels. Taken together, they can cause a catastrophic drop in blood pressure, leading to fainting, heart attack, or sudden death. Doctors always ask about ED drugs before prescribing nitrates, and for good reason. Alpha blockers, for prostate problems or high blood pressure. These drugs also relax blood vessels. Combine them with Tadalafil, and you risk severe hypotension, the kind that leaves you dizzy, collapsing, or unconscious. Antihypertensive medications. Even standard blood pressure pills can intensify Tadalafil's effects, putting the heart under unnecessary stress. Alcohol. Many men pop a pill before a night out without realizing alcohol magnifies the blood pressure lowering effect. The result? Blackouts, dangerous dehydration, or worse. Other recreational drugs, substances like poppers, amyl nitrite, are especially lethal when combined with Tadalafil. This is a mix that has caused sudden deaths in clubs and parties. Here's a chilling thought. A large number of men who suffer fatal complications after taking Tadalafil never knew they were combining it with a forbidden drug. And this raises a question. If so many people are unknowingly putting themselves at risk, could it be because they believe in myths and misconceptions about this drug? Exactly. That's what we'll break down in the next chapter. Myths versus truths about Tadalafil. Tadalafil has become so popular that it's surrounded by myths, and these misconceptions are often the reason people misuse it. Let's separate fact from fiction. Myth number 1. It makes you instantly better in bed. Truth. Tadalafil does not increase sexual desire or make you a better lover. It only improves blood flow, making it easier to achieve and sustain an erection when arousal is already present. Myth number 2. You can take it whenever you want. No risks. Truth. As we've seen, Tadalafil stays in your system for up to 36 hours. Taking another dose too soon or mixing it with the wrong substance can be dangerous, even fatal. Myth number 3. You don't need a prescription. It's just a performance enhancer. Truth. Tadalafil is a prescription drug for a reason. Using it without medical evaluation can hide serious conditions like heart disease or diabetes, delaying proper treatment. Myth number 4. It only helps with erectile dysfunction. Truth. As mentioned earlier, it's also approved for prostate problems and pulmonary hypertension, but only under strict medical supervision. Myth number 5. The more you take, the stronger the effect. Truth. Tadalafil has a ceiling effect. Beyond a certain dose, you don't get better results. You only multiply the risks of side effects. So here's the bottom line. Much of what people believe about Tadalafil is either half true or completely false. And believing these myths is exactly what leads men into trouble. Which brings us to the most important question. When is it truly safe to use Tadalafil? And when should you seek medical help or consider safer alternatives? That's what we'll cover in the next chapter. So, when should you absolutely stop self-medicating and go straight to a doctor? Here are the red flags. Chest pain, dizziness or fainting after taking Tadalafil, sudden vision or hearing changes, erections lasting more than 4 hours, priapism, frequent headaches or back pain that worsen over time, any sign of irregular heartbeat or shortness of breath. If you experience these symptoms, Tadalafil isn't just risky, it's a medical emergency. But here's the hopeful part. There are safer alternatives for many men. Lifestyle-based approaches. Exercise. Regular physical activity improves circulation and hormone balance. Nutrition. Diets rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and omega-3s boost vascular health. Sleep. Poor sleep and sleep apnea are silent causes of erectile dysfunction. Stress management, meditation, therapy, or even deep breathing can make a dramatic difference. Medical alternatives, counseling or therapy for men whose ED is linked to stress, anxiety, or relationship issues. Hormone evaluation. Sometimes, low testosterone is the underlying problem, and addressing that can help naturally. Other medications or devices, doctors may suggest different PDE5 inhibitors, vacuum erection devices, or even cutting-edge treatments like shockwave therapy. Here's the key. The best solution depends on the cause of the problem, and only a thorough medical evaluation can uncover that. But before we close, there's still one last and perhaps most shocking point to reveal: the hidden risk of Tadalafil that almost no one talks about. And trust me, this is something you'll want to know before ever touching this drug again. We've talked about the common side effects, the deadly drug interactions, and the myths. But here's the hidden risk that very few people ever hear about. Tadalafil can mask early warning signs of serious diseases. Here's what I mean. Erectile dysfunction is often the first visible symptom of conditions like heart disease, diabetes, or high blood pressure. By taking Tadalafil, many men are able to perform again, but the underlying disease keeps progressing silently. This means that by the time they finally see a doctor, it's not just ED anymore. It's a heart attack waiting to happen, advanced diabetes, or even stroke. Think about it. What looks like a quick fix can actually delay the diagnosis of life-threatening conditions. And this is why doctors insist, if you have ED, don't just medicate it away. Find out what's causing it. Now let's make it real. A man in his 40s thinks he just has performance anxiety. He buys Tadalafil online and keeps going for years. But in reality, he has blocked arteries. Instead of getting treatment early, the pills cover up the problem, until one day he collapses with a massive heart attack. That's the hidden danger. It's not just about what Tadalafil does, it's about what it prevents you from discovering in time. So the real question is, are you using a pill to temporarily silence your body, or are you listening to the signals it's desperately trying to send you? And this brings us to our closing thoughts. How to protect your health, your relationships, and your future without falling into the silent trap of medications like Tadalafil. So, let's recap what we've uncovered today. Tadalafil works by improving blood flow, but it's not harmless. Millions are using it without realizing the serious risks, from side effects to deadly drug interactions. While it does have legitimate medical benefits, misuse can hide dangerous diseases and delay life-saving treatment. Myths and misinformation push people into risky habits, while the real solution often lies in lifestyle changes, medical evaluation, and addressing the root cause. And finally, the hidden risk. By masking early symptoms, Tadalafil can prevent men from discovering heart disease, diabetes, or other life-threatening conditions in time. So here's my challenge to you. If you or someone you love has ever considered taking Tadalafil without a prescription, stop and think. Your body isn't broken. It may just be sending you an important warning. Don't ignore it. Instead, talk to a doctor, get the right tests, and take action on the real problem, because your health, your relationships, and your future are worth far more than a quick fix. And if you found this video valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. Before you go, make sure to check out my other video on the top 5 natural ways to improve blood flow and prevent erectile dysfunction without pills. It's packed with practical tips you can start using right away, and it could be the missing piece you've been looking for. Stay safe, stay informed, and take care of your health. Because when it comes to your body, prevention is always better than regret.